Hello everyone and welcome to this new style of video that I'm doing, in which case I rank all the cars that you viewers have sent me in comments into a big tier list that I've made. Now, for adding cars to the future, you can put them in the comments for this video. Add as many cars you like, as many comments as you like, and as long as the car's not already hit, I will add it to the tier list. Now the category are Dream Car, Sub-Zero, Cool, Interesting, Average, Not Great, Bad, Atrocious, and then for the worst of the worst, we burn them. But yes, I hope you enjoy the video. Maybe like or subscribe or comment, and yeah, I'll get on with it. Now, the first car, Lincoln Continental 2021. But that I've chosen the 2021 because a comment didn't specify which Lincoln Continental, so I've chosen myself the 2021. Now, I like the way it looks, however, I don't know much about it. I mean, I know it should be a rival to things like the Audi A8 and Mercedes S-Class. So I'm gonna put it in interesting. Again, if I didn't know anything about it, it'd be an average. But another thing that puts it up is that it's got suicide doors, and that's cool. No other cars in its class, well, at least not the ones being sold today, have that, and that's just cool. Now, next car, 67 Impala, specifically the one from the television series Supernatural. Now, I don't usually like blacked out cars like this. However, with the Impala, I'm going to make an exception because it fits it, because the Impala itself sort of exudes muscle and menace, and it's just an aggressive car in general. I think the black helps it, and again, Impala is one of my preferred muscle cars, so I'm going to put that in cool. Oh yeah, and if you've noticed wondered why it's so zoomed in, it's because there's ads everywhere and I'm trying not to show them because I think that'll annoy everyone. I'm just trying to show necessary information of this tier list. Now, next car. Again, comment didn't specify which Nissan Bluebird, just said Nissan Bluebird, so got one here. I'm going to put it in average. I don't know much about it. I mean, I know a lot about cars, but I don't know every single thing about every single car. That's impossible, even for me. So, again, I don't know much about the Bluebird, so I'm just going to put it here because it looks like a fairly average car, nothing special. I mean, again, if I'm wrong, put something in the comments. I'll be happy to gain some more knowledge and maybe I'll move it about. But for now, it's going there. Next car, Jensen Interceptor. Now already it gets good marks for that name, like Interceptor. That's a really, really cool name for a car. Plus, I really like the car. I like the way it looks. It's got a V8, which again is a plus. It does have a reputation for unreliability, but that's a thing for most classic British cars. I'm going to put that in Sub-Zero because I really, really like it. It's a great car. Next one, Austin Healey 3000. I like the car. It's a lightweight British sports car. It's quite tough for me to figure out where to put this because again, ranking all these cars, I know a lot about cars, but I've never ranked them all like this before. So I'm going to put it in interesting because it's not average, that's for certain. But I'm going to put it there because I like it, but I don't think I like it as much as the Lincoln or definitely not the Impala or the. Again, so I'm going to put that there. I might move it around later. Again, that's basically the same for all of this. But for now, aha. Right, the Trabant. Now, from the outlook, it's like another fairly terrible old. I mean, it looks like a Soviet car, but it's not a Soviet car. It's made in Germany. Actually, it might have been made in Soviet Germany, so again, that would explain it. But already it's a pretty terrible car, so it would go in atrocious. However, there's one thing that keeps it out of atrocious. It's not made of steel, it's basically made of a material that's similar to cardboard. I mean, it can't actually be cardboard, that'd be ridiculous, but it's very, very close to cardboard from what I've seen. So, as they decide to make their car out of cardboard, it will be burnt. Because that's just a stupid idea. It's a horrible little car. It's very ugly, very slow. Just not nice. Now, next one. Land Rover Discovery 2 TD5, which so I assume turbo. Well, it's not like I assume it. Logic would dictate turbocharged 5-cylinder diesel. But that wouldn't be right, though. No, that wouldn't be right, because that'd be like a Quattro. Yeah, ignore me. Ignore me and my ramblings. The main thing is, I don't like SUVs. I especially not ones that aren't properly built to go off-road. The Land Rover Discovery 2 is built to go off-road, though. And this is going to be quite opinionated, but my dad owns one of these, and I've been in a lot, and I've grown quite fond of it. So this is probably end up being the highest SUV on the list. I am going to put it in cool, even ahead of the Impala. If my dad didn't have one, it'd probably be not great, bad, average, one of those three. Like at best this, at worst this. Again, I'm very indecisive. But I'm going to put that there because my dad owns one. I'm quite fond of it. So again, quite opinionated, but it's where it's staying. I mean, it might stay there, but it's where I'm putting it. It's where it's going to be for the foreseeable future. So there. Next car, DeLorean, DMC-12. The comment said the one from Back to the Future, but I've got the normal one here. I mean, again, if you want the one from Back to the Future, which I probably should have put here anyway, but I didn't. Let's comment again. I will put the Back to the Future one in here as well. Now, for the actual DMC-12, it's not a good car. It's got a horrible, horrible engine. It's very slow, doesn't handle well. It's been involved in all sorts of scandal, well, at least with the maker. It was involved in an FBI scandal. It's like sting operation, coercion, all that. But I mean, that's not really got much to do with the car, so I can't hold that against it. But it's not a great car. I know it's iconic from being in Back to the Future, but I don't really like it anyway. The Goldwing doors are a plus, but I've never really been a fan. And I never really watched Back to the Future for a while. At least, but that still doesn't affect my opinion of it. So I'm going to put it in not great. Because, I mean, no, I'm going to put it in bad. It's not a good car. It's not a good car at all, in fact. The only thing stopping me from putting it any lower is the fact that it's got Goldwing doors and the aluminium bodywork is quite unique. But there is that. Next, VW Karmann Ghia. Now, it's got a horrible engine as well. It's got the engine from the VW Beetle. So, similar to the DeLorean in the way. I mean, it's a rattly, horrible, slow engine. It's not even got any power bump for the regular Beetle. However, it's clothed in a much, much more beautiful body shell, and that earns it some points. I really, really like it, but it's arguably not a great car. I'm going to put it in average, above the... No, I'm going to put it in not great. No, I'm so indecisive. I'm going to put it there, and it's going to stay there for now. Now, this. This is a Mahindra Jeep, made in India. It's not a car I know much about, unfortunately. I mean, it looks to be based off the Willys Jeep. They may even have stolen the thing from the Willys Jeep. I don't know. Have they correctly licensed it? I mean, that's irrelevant whether they've done it. I just wonder. Because, again, I don't know anything about it. I mean, from the outset, I do know about Mahindra. And they're known for not making good cars. So I don't think this Jeep is going to be any different. But, again, enlighten me in the comments if it is any different. So, I'm going to put it below the DeLorean bad. Atrocious. I'll put it in atrocious. Because, I don't know, I've got that gut feeling that it's really, really bad. I mean, again, put in a comment if you know any better than me, and if it's not actually atrocious, who knows, it could end up being a dream car. No, but yeah, it might be put out of atrocious. Next car, the comment said Chevrolet Camaro. It didn't specify which Camaro, so I've chosen my favourite, and it's the 2013 ZL1. Not again, it's in that sweet spot because I like cars from the 90s to the early 2010s. Those are my favourite ones because they're sort of the cars I grew up with. So I was never the biggest fan of Camaros, but this is my favourite one, and it certainly gets to go above the Land Rover. There we go. The Land Rover was fighting it off. Yeah, it gets to go above the Land Rover. I mean, it's not a track car, but it's like it is a faster version of that generation of Camaro. One of the fastest until the Z28 came along, which beat it even further. But it is like, I mean, it's one of the Camaros that came closest to the Corvette before the Z28, but then They could have made it faster, I suspect, but they didn't want it trampling all over the Corvette, so yeah. I think it goes there. It's probably going to stay at the top of cool. Next one, original Mini. Again, a British bias here, but even then, not the biggest fan of it. But still, it was revolutionary. Like all the stuff it was able to pack in such a small package, and it's brilliant for tuning. Even if you put a few more horsepower in it, it can turn into a little rocket of a car. But that's not true. That's not what we're doing. We're rating the cars completely stock. So then I'm going to put it in average. But I'm going to put it above the Bluebird because it's more revolutionary than the Bluebird. I can guess that. I mean, again, I could be completely wrong, but I've not heard about the Bluebird very much, so I'm going to guess it isn't as revolutionary. So, yeah. Next car. Yes. Now, this car is similar vein to, it was revolutionary, like the Mini, but not revolutionary in its construction, but again, it was another bringing cars to the masses again. But I really, really don't like it. It's not got a nice engine. I think it's ugly. It's just nothing about it screams good car to me. So I'm not going to put it in burn because it's revolutionary, but I am going to put it below the Jeep in atrocious. Now, next car. I've not put anything in not great. Reliant Scimitar GT. This car right here, I really, really like it. I like sort of estate shooting brake body styles. And this one, Reliant is known for the Supervan and the Robin, which are crap three-wheeled things. But I like the Reliant Scimitar. It's a good-looking car. Again, known for being unreliable, but that's just a British car of this time period thing. But it is quite quick as well, and I really, really like the way it looks. So I am going to put it in cool, just behind the Land Rover. I'm going to put it ahead of the Impala, behind the Land Rover. Yeah, I'm going to put that there. I'm happy with that. Next car, Rover P5. Now this car, it just exudes class and luxury and elegance, really. It's got that, like, almost like old money, like statesmanly sort of feel. And again, I quite like that. It's got a I don't like using the word, but it's got a vibe and it's sticking to it. Again, that's just because of the time it was designed and the people it was designed for, but it's just got that feeling for me. So I'm going to put it ahead of the Lincoln in interesting. Rover P6. I believe this was made in the British Leyland days. I mean, I could be wrong, but that does put it down a bit. So I'm not going to factor that in because I think I might be wrong. But I don't know. It doesn't speak to me as much as the P5. I mean, I'm kind of a fan of Rovers anyway, even though they're a bit, like, old manny. If that's... I mean, old manny's not a word, but yeah. Maybe that makes me an old man for liking Rovers. But I do kind of like them. This one, though, is not my favourite. So I'm going to put it in average. Head of the Mini, but below the VW. Now, Rover SD1. We have the Vitesse and the 3500. Now, my dad again put these in a comment. He didn't put the Vitesse in, so this is actually the one car I've added myself. But he owned the 3500. Except, I have now forgotten which picture is the 3500 and which one is the Vitesse. I will be back in a minute to when I have returned to figure out which one is which. Correction, it wasn't the 3500 SD. I don't think that's even a Rover SD1 that my dad had. It was the Vanden Plas, and this black one here is the Vanden Plas, this red one's the Vitesse. So I'm going to rank them together. My dad had the Vanden Plas. The SD1 is the one British Leyland car that I really, really like, and it's one of my favourite Rovers. So again, this might be not to everyone's taste, but I'm going to put the SD1 Vanden Plas here ahead of the Impala and below the Scimitar, and I'm going to put the Vitesse, which was the fast one, like top of the line, had a V8. I'm going to put that ahead of the Scimitar. So yeah, again, I've got a thing for British cars because again, UK, what I grew up with, or the cars I see more often is seeing at car shows and that. But again, I I mean, I suppose that says a lot that I'm ranking Rover ST1s ahead of a Lincoln Continental, which is a full-on luxury car. I mean, it might be a bad full-on luxury car. Again, I don't know much about it. And for the final car, like, I put my hands in the wrong place. We have the Piaggio Ape. Piaggio Vespa Ape. I butchered that. I think it's a Vespa Piaggio Ape. I think that's how you pronounce it. Like again, this is one of the cars my dad suggested. Is it a car? Might be a stretch, but I see it suggested it. Oh yeah, please don't suggest motorcycles. Oh, I do apologise. That was my chest squeaking. Please do not suggest motorcycles. And this one, it's synonymous with Italy, but oh no, hang on. I can't put it there anymore. Hang on. It's synonymous with Italy, but it's not a good car. It's a car thing, bike. It's like, it's not good. It's not good. Gonna put it in the Trabant, but can't put it any higher. It's synonymous with Italy. It's iconic, but it's horrible. I would not want to own it. Maybe ride it to experience the culture and drive it, but I'd never ever want to own one. But yes, that's the end of the tier list for now. No dream car, no not great. But comment whatever you'd like to see, and yeah, have a great day or night or evening or whatever you're having wherever you're on. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.